Hi, I'm Brian Law, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about the LDRS Museum and the Winslow Arts Trust. It's kind of an old collaboration that's being restructured, and it's been kind of in high gear since about June, and it's been kind of stagnant for several years. And it's a collaborative strategic plan because these are actually two separate entities. The trust, the Winslow Arts Trust, is a 501c3, and they own most of the museums and the collections that are in the museum and are going to be in the museum. The museum is owned and operated by La Posada. Again, originally they started off as one, but they decided to divide it up this way because one's a profit and one's a nonprofit, public benefit nonprofit. So to maintain compliance, it was just easier to go this route. Nobody on the board has any financial interest in the La Posada, and we are all volunteers and pay for our own travel and everything else. The program's mission statement is, and I wrote this, so bear with me, I can't read my own writing. I wrote it about 2 or 3 months ago. But anyway, we provide professional and financial assistance to parties who preserve, restore, and educate in culture, art, and artifacts along historic trade routes, including Route 66 and the Santa Fe Railroad. Our main revenue source is an endowment, and the hotel's revenue is it's a profitable hotel that's pretty much booked year round. It was actually a rated Condé Nast #2 restaurant in a hotel a couple of years ago. And it's all actually reasonably affordable. It's a neat place. It's accessible, high end. The methodologies we used were your basic SWOT analysis and a sustainability matrix. I'll spend a little more time on the SWOT, is the sustainability matrix. A lot of it's really addressed in other parts of the program, but the heart thing would be one that shows up most. There are, again, no expenses tied to the trust other than we'll have an executive director. It doesn't right now. That person will work it'll be half-time. That'll be about $40,000 a year. And right now, the trust and the hotel are spending fair amounts of money on the legal and accounting teams to separate these assets completely. There's actually 2 hotels in Las Vegas, New Mexico, the Castaneda and the Plaza, that are owned by the trust also. We're going to transfer them out of the trust and into the private ownership side of it. The SWOT analysis, though, to me, it's actually pretty exciting. I like SWOT analysis anyway. I think they're great icebreakers, and sometimes you can get some deep stuff out of them too. And in this case, it was really good for me because I'm fairly new to the board, and I wasn't sure I made the right decision, to be honest with you. It's working out pretty good. But I got to know the trustees while doing this, and these guys are really, it's a high quality group of individuals. A couple of them really are. That's all they are. They're philanthropists. That's what they do for, I don't know if they call it a living. They spend their money for a living. There's former, she's retired, the head of the collections at the National Portrait Gallery in Washington, D.C. One of the other trustees owns a hotel, and her family owns a fairly large art museum in it's their family's trust, or whatever you want to call it, foundation in Fort Worth. And it's just neat people that really know what they're doing. So it's kind of neat for me, the guy that doesn't really know what he's doing, to learn from these people. Our priorities are kind of the emerging priorities, I guess. It's funny, is the kind of getting going faster. There's more community building is going really better than we'd ever imagined. the rugs just really brought people together, and we've just got visitors constantly, people coming up from out of the area, got good press coverage, television, all kinds of neat stuff. And the priority is just staying on our mission, to fund projects, and we're funding some weavers now, traditional weavers, just so they can keep doing their thing. It's not a ton of money in it, so we're supporting them with some financial assistance. And then the outreach and the communication is been really solid. We've built really good relationships with the Hubble Museum on the Navajo Reservation, and that's a national park. And then, but more important, the Navajo Museum in Ganado on the reservation. They actually participated in our opening with the rug. They've been real helpful, real cooperative, and helped us with our excellence in execution. Is they've helped us correct things, and when we learn something that maybe is wrong in an interpretation, we actually make a correction to it. We don't fight out. We research to make sure, because we did have a peer-reviewed professor make a false claim, or it wasn't on purpose, but we actually went out and they'd never been to the site. We went out to the site, met with people there, and determined that the claim was wrong, and it's in a peer-reviewed paper. So be careful what you cite, or who you review. The capability assessment, really our main focus in that at this point is getting the employees in the hotel comfortable with the museum and the assets in it. It's in a separate building, and everything, so not like they're climbing on it. But it's the staff there's very well trained, local. Most of them are actually native Navajo, and some Hopis, but the majority of the employees are, and so it was funny. They were uncomfortable with the stuff that we kind of think, you guys grew up with it, but I think it's a different aspect of what they're doing, and some of them in rotation, managing the hotel, or staffing it. And anyway, it's working out good though. We won't go into too much of that stuff, but our action plan, or our you had a good name for it, strategies, I guess. Our strategies are to get that museum going. We're actually completing John Sutman wing of the museum now, and he's a nationally known, probably internationally, artist, large sculpture, and also architectural kind of integration of sculpture into architecture. You want to spend $1 million on a gate, call John. Oh, I shouldn't say that, but he's a really neat guy, and he actually was involved in the building of the apparatus that supports the rug. He was on the board member of the original trust, and real good guy. And we're working on the we obviously had the rug opening. We're doing a Dia de los Muertos with the local ballet folklorica organization. The dancers, it's beautiful, and it'll be a multi-station procession. The city's involved in it. They're actually providing assets, and we've done it before, and it's pretty cool. And then we're working on the Terrell trailer already. That started last week, and to get it ready, again, it's going to be an artist in residence. And then the trailer's the big one, or what do you call it? The Pleasure Dome's the big one, and I'll be heavy on that one next year. Myself, the museum director, the general manager of the hotel, the creative director, and several more. But I want to kind of loop back to what this is really, why we did this, why it started. Julia Joe, she's the weaver that made this rug, and it was commissioned by Lorenzo Hubble, and it was a very good mutually beneficial relationship. But throughout history, it was always the Hubble rug, And then when you saw pictures of Julia, it just said Navajo Weaver. So we've made it's part of our mission is to get her recognition and her name on it. And that's why we've worked very, very closely with our remaining family members. Actually, I think I can go back to this. They had a day just for them to see the museum before it went public, and we've had just great response from them, great support, and it means a lot to all of us. And her grandson Sammy kind of said it best. I'll just summarize. Well, you can read the thing, but it's his last sentence here. He kind of sums it up. It's laying on a real nice floor, comfortable. It's lying there resting. Let it rest nice. Let it rest on a nice, comfortable form. And then that's Sammy. Sammy Lee. Julia was his grandmother, and Emma is his mother, and they were the two primary weavers. Although it was the Red House clan and the other parts of the community that helped. So thank you for listening and watching, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoy reading it, not so much speaking about it. Thank you.